Really excited to talk about this year's Journey to the Tourney. This is the third year of the event. It's sponsored by Beacon Orthopedics and Dr. Kremchek, so really appreciate their support down in Cincinnati. This is the first year we've had 3 days. The interest has just been so good to grow the event. There's so many talented teams all over Ohio, but specifically in Southwest Ohio. That we want to be able to include more teams. So we added a third day. We start at 1 o'clock on the Friday after Thanksgiving, so you can still get your shopping in and head on over. But just really excited about the lineup. So we're going to go through and actually talk about some of the teams and pick a winner for each game. We'll keep track, and then you'll owe me something when I win the bet after this.
You've never beaten me in pick 'em, by the way.
First game is a 1 o'clock game at Lakota West with Minster versus Valley View. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Minster. Definitely a D4 power. I do like Aubrey Stupp from Valley View. Great kid. I had an opportunity to coach her down at OGBR event. 6-foot kid that can play inside, outside. But with Minster, they have Wolf and Pranger and a couple other kids. That's going to be a tough matchup for Valley View.
Yeah, one of the exciting things about this year's event is we have all 4 state champions from last year, so including Minster. We also have a state champion from Indiana. But back to this game, I'm going to go with Minster as well. Like you said, Ivy Wolf, great player in Division 4 here, and then Courtney Pranger, a Xavier recruit as well. I just think they have too much. But Valley View had a great season last year as well, so it'll be fun to watch that as our opening game. Second game, we've got West Claremont against Mercy McCauley. It's Mercy McCauley's first game as a school. The 2 schools combined this past summer. Coach Nick Baltimore, first year there. I'm so excited for this game. So what do you think?
I'm going to go with Mercy McCauley. I like Coach Baltimore.
We're supposed to disagree on things.
Well, you have that opportunity. I know they got some size and some athleticism, and West Claremont's losing several kids from last year's team, and I know they still have some talent, but first game of the season, I'm going to go with Mercy McCauley.
Yeah, Coach Click does a great job at West Claremont. Mercy McCauley has Lexi Fleming. That's a Bowling Green recruit. Great shooter, one of the best shooters in Cincinnati. So I'm as well going to go with Mercy McCauley. We need to disagree at some point here to make this fun.
Sure, we'll get there.
Third game, 4:20 p.m. We have Princeton versus Bellbrook.
I'm going to go with Bellbrook. I don't know a whole lot about Princeton, and I guess I'm not afraid to admit that. I know Bellbrook's got a very deep team with a lot of talent. Had a very successful season last year, so I'm going to go with Bellbrook.
I'll go with Princeton. Coach Phillips does a great job there as well. Should be a great game, a great crowd with 2 local schools. Princeton has one of the best freshmen in the state, a post player who will give them a lot of added size this year. But 2 very contrasting styles, which should be really fun to watch.
Well, unless Kelsey Mitchell walks through that door, I feel pretty good about my pick.
6 o'clock game, we've got Newark versus Northwestern, the school we mentioned previously from Indiana who won their state championship. They have, I shouldn't tell you this before your pick, but they have recruits going to Michigan State and Purdue.
Well, I'm still going with Newark. I'm not foolish. I'm not going to pick against Coach Shoemate. I think he's one of the best coaches in the state. They obviously have talent with Sharps and Shoemate's 2 daughters and several other kids on that team. So I think Coach Shoemate will be prepared, and he does a very good job of controlling the pace of the game, and I'm going to go with the Wildcats.
I'm going to go with Newark as well. Like you said, they've got some great veteran leadership this year with Katie Shoemate, Morgan Sharps. Emma Shoemate had a great summer as well. Like you said, Coach Shoemate does a great job preparing his team. As we saw last year, they came down and played Mount Notre Dame, and in a lopsided game. So he's just going to do a great job preparing them. But this should be one of the highlighted games on Friday. I think that is just going to be a ton of talent, good coaching on both sides. 2 teams that want to compete at the highest level, and I'm going to go with Newark as well. Last game of the day, we've got Mason against Olentangy Liberty. Mason returns Sammy Puisis, as well as Megan Wagner. Alana Carter just recently committed to Akron, so a lot of talent there. Olentangy Liberty, you got Tegan, who's committed to Miami of Ohio, Levering. They've got some really good players. Coach Crafty does a really good job there as well.
This game kind of, I'm tempted to go with Olentangy Liberty on the upset. If I didn't have bragging rights against you, I probably would. If there is a game that might surprise people, I think it might be this one. because Levering, I love Levering. I seen her this summer. She's grown physically and skill wise. And then Piper, I'm not really sure how to say her last name, but I'm sure they'll let me know. But again, Mason.
You can tweet at him at Hall of Fame Huddle.
I just can't pick against Sammy. You know, I've watched her play in huge games against great competition. I've unfortunately coached against her and figured out there's really no way you're going to stop her. So I'm going to go with Mason.
Yeah, similar. I'm going to go with Mason. I've had the privilege of coaching Sammy, and you know, one of my favorite players I've ever coached. You know, just a competitive kid who continually gets better and better and better. You know, can just put a ton of points up on the board at any point, and just always gives you a chance to win. Coach Matula does a great job. It should be a great coaching battle between the two, but I'll go with Mason as well. So there's our Friday predictions. We'll be back here in a second for our segment on Saturday.